Good morning. Think of, Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I've been thinking about all the differences in the world. The world is so abundant, and does it seem like it's picking up speed and there's more and more and more and more of everything? Are you looking at every good thing there is? When we see a problem and it gets uncomfortable enough, that's when change happens. That's when someone invents something to make our lives easier. And then we take it for granted. Think of all the things that you have in your life that you wanted so badly, and now you have them, and it's just part of your life. Doesn't matter, it's just there, taking up room, taking up space. Think about the garden. It's getting close to harvest time, and there is so many vegetables to harvest, things to clean and to process, to share, to use throughout the winter. Life carries on. Life continues to grow and proliferate. Life continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think it's not our imagination. As we're getting older and looking around, there's more of everything. There's more of everything that life has to offer. If you think about what's going on just outside your window, so many leaves on the trees, so many vegetables in the garden. You might be looking outside and thinking, oh, there's so much work to do, so much lawn to cut, so much stuff to clean. Would it be easier if your life was simple, if you didn't have so much stuff to take care of? Whether you have a lot or a little, it's your own perspective, whether it's a lot or a little, but there's this spiritual side of you that wants more. No matter how much food you ate yesterday, you're going to want to eat again today. You might have purchased a car you always wanted or finally bought your own home, and then you take it for granted. You want more. That's not greedy and selfish. That is the way life is. This whole universe is for expansion. We're looking to make things better. I'm really happy that I don't live in the days of the pioneers with breaking the land with horses and plows. I'm really glad that I have a garden, but there are a lot of people who just go to the store and buy what they want. And there are other people who live in countries where they have to grow their food, otherwise they wouldn't have enough to eat. When you think about what you really want, it doesn't boil down to a newer car, a bigger house, more toys. It's about, how do you feel when you help someone? How do you feel when you make another person's life better? How do you feel when you're just walking in nature, thanking God for this beautiful earth and all the things that we have? It really is full of wonder. It's a wonderful world. When you look around and see what's in your world, and then you see pictures from the other side of the world, And it's so beautiful, so different, so unique. And the people there, they see the mountains and the beauty in Canada, and they want to come here and explore and see what we have. It's just human nature. It's the spiritual side of you to want more. I want you to get that. It's not greedy. You're not taking it from someone else. If you go for a walk along the river and you look at the trees and the grass and the flowers, you take in the smells, you look at the water flowing, and just enjoy the calm and the peace and the abundance surrounding you. If there are 100 other people walking along the trail seeing the same thing, you're not taking anything away from them. This is an amazing universe that we live in. Where do you spend your time? Where do you spend your thoughts? Where do you spend your energy? The people who have really created change for everyone have thought about, what if things could be different? What if everyone could have what they wanted? What if everyone had clean running water? They started to work on a solution. They didn't criticize or condemn or say there's not enough. They said there's not enough water. What can we do about it? They didn't say, oh, there's no money, we can't. How can we do that? How can we bring clean running water to people in Africa, to people on northern reserves, to people who live by contaminated water? How can we get them clean running water? And they're providing solutions. What could we do if we actually just sat and thought about, what can I do? How could that happen? Instead of there's never enough, or there's too much, or I can't. I think it's more about I won't. What about if you thought about how you could get what you really wanted? A simpler life, a healthier life, a more peaceful life, or more prosperity, more money so that you can do what you want with ease and help other people. Yesterday, I talked about wealth. It's not about accumulation, it's about circulation. And the only difference between you and a billionaire is a difference in mindset, a difference in the way you think. Can or can't, will or won't. There's more than enough for everyone. And whatever it is, believing is seeing. You must believe before you will see anything happen in your life. Money is not bad, it only enhances who you really are. Some of the wealthiest people in the world create the greatest opportunities. Creating wealth is about adding value. Visualize your wealthy life on a continual basis. That means not complaining about bills and debt, not worried about there's never enough. I always say, thank you, God. I'm always taken care of. That's opposite of how I used to look at life. I used to look at the bills and the debt and never enough and worry and panic. How am I going to pay the bills? But if you focus on lack, limitation, poverty, that's what grows bigger in your experience. And you kind of end up on a cycle, on a treadmill, on just going around and around, visualizing a wealthy life, not once in a while or not with jealousy and contempt, but how could how could I do more? How could I serve more people so that I can live a healthier, wealthier life? How could I help others in a better way? It takes removing negative thoughts from your mind and concentrating on the positive, focusing on what you want for your life rather than worrying about your problems. You know that the top performers in all industries do what they do because they love to do it. They don't have to. They say they get to. They enjoy it. They pursue it. For them, work is its own reward. They understand how to create value and they enjoy doing so. They don't work just to earn money, but it's also important to understand that they would not work for free. Looking from the outside in, this can be hard to understand. If the wealthy don't need any more money and they're not working to gain more, then why do they do it? A popular misconception has it that you accumulate money so that you can stop working. That's someone without a wealthy mindset talking. Bob Proctor never retired. He was 87 years old when he passed away, and he said he never wanted to retire. Why would he stop doing what he loves? He said retirement means pulling back from life and giving up on something that enriches and fulfills my life every day. Why on earth would I do that? While wealthy people talk a great deal about money and creating income, they almost never utter the word retirement. That's because the only people who really long to retire are those who spend their lives in jobs that they don't enjoy or for which they have no passion. By the same token, the idea that you should save for retirement used to drive Bob Proctor crazy. He said the idea of saving for retirement is to deny yourself the life that you want to live now so that you can hoard enough money to live the life you want to live in the future. That's backwards logic. The whole idea is surrounded with the fear of future lack of resources. The money and energy being hoarded could be put to much better use, creating ongoing sources of income that will continue for your entire life, no matter your age or your health or stage of life. Wealthy people understand that work gives them energy and renews their passion for life. Take Warren Buffett. He made billions and he has given billions away. Warren Buffett, you can be sure, doesn't need bigger or more houses, cars, or anything else. And you can bet he's not working so he can retire someday. No, Warren Buffett works every day because he loves finding companies that provide products that customers need and that can bring value to his shareholders. That is his passion, and he is passionate about every phase of his business. When you find a career or a business that you're truly passionate about, it no longer seems like work. It's an adrenaline rush. When you're great at what you do invigorates you every single day. That passion can help others to achieve their goals as well. Bob Proctor said, "This is exactly how I feel about teaching people the principles that can change their lives for the better. I get up each morning enthused and anxious to get started. I anticipate great things will happen every single day, and they do. For me, there is no bigger thrill than helping someone understand the wealthy mindset and then seeing them take that knowledge and become a millionaire. That's why I do what I do. I love helping people express the greatness that is in them. For 39 years, I worked in a career that paid me a paycheck, gave me some benefits, gave me a few holidays. I was grateful that it paid for my house and for my car and for the food on the table and the clothes and education. It helped me raise my children, but it didn't give me purpose and fulfillment the way what I do now fills me up, gets me out of bed with purpose and passion. I used to set my alarm clock and hit the snooze button at least 3 times, and then I would drag myself out of bed to go to a job that was starting to be a drag. It was starting, I was starting to dread going to work, even though I was good at it. People counted on me. It felt like I was no longer serving myself or people in the way that would help improve the world. Now I jump out of bed. I look for ways that I can serve the world. I look for ways that I can fill myself up. I do this morning mindfulness every single day for myself, for you, to expand the world, to help you fill yourself up and get started with your day enthused and ready to look for ways to help the world, to be grateful for what you have, and to share your wealth, your knowledge, your talent, your life. There is no bigger thrill than helping someone understand that they can have whatever they want. They can think from a mindset of abundance. Whether you're walking along the riverbank and seeing the water rushing, or walking along a trail in nature, you can't even take in all the abundance of nature. When you're thinking from abundance, you understand it is infinite. There is no end. Life is getting bigger and fuller and more. What do you want to make of it? As your life gets bigger and fuller and more love, more wealth, more experiences, doesn't it feel good to think of ways that you can share your knowledge, your experience, your money, your education, your skills and talents? What would you do if money and time was no barrier? Where would you go? Who would you help? Think about that. You know, it doesn't matter if a person is earning an average wage, satisfied with their income, or a billionaire. I think most people want more. Like I said earlier, no matter how much food you have, how much you've eaten in your life, you still want more. No matter how great your home is and how many wonderful experiences you've had in your lifetime, wouldn't it be nice to have another experience, another trip, more food, more clothes? It's not just for yourself, it's how you can expand the world so that more people have more food and clean water and experiences and love. Successful people are not unique. They have one thing in common, and that they are passionate about life. They have developed the inner strength to maintain a consistent persistency. They persist in their dreams. This allows them to go beyond the point where the average person would have given up. That's the wealthy mindset at work. They go beyond seeing the world of acceptable or average before you can really begin to change the way you think from average or lack and limitation or poverty or problems. You first have to understand how your current thoughts and beliefs have come to be. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool, but most people never stop and think about what creates their thought patterns, their feelings, and their actions. So that's why most people become frustrated and confused by their results, and yet they feel powerless to change them. I help people understand that your overall attitude is a composite of your thoughts and feelings and actions, not one or two, but all three working together. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions are a product of your conditioned behavior, which includes the environment in which we were raised, the education you received, the people and events that have influenced our lives. We are all a product of our individual experiences. So each person's attitude is entirely unique. We started out in life not knowing or caring about the world. Everything that we've learned in specific stages. Think about riding a bike. When you were a baby, you didn't even know they existed. You were an unconscious incompetent. You didn't know what you didn't know. And then you went merrily along your day, only knowing, maybe learning how to walk. At some point in your childhood, you saw people riding bikes and you decided that's what you wanted. You had a desire. You started to get an idea that you would love to learn how to ride a bike and have that freedom. Now, nobody could just tell you how. You couldn't read a book on riding a bike. You actually had to experience it. So then the second stage of learning is called conscious incompetence. You had to try. It took a lot of concentration and effort to balance on a bicycle for the first time. We work hard and focus our efforts at trying to stay on the bike until we're finally able to pedal without falling over. Once you became more proficient, you didn't fall off. You proved you could ride the bike through focused attention and concentration, and then you became a conscious competent. Then through repetition, you might have learned you got so good at riding the bike, you didn't have to think about it. This is unconscious competence. When we became so adept at performing a particular skill, we don't have to think about it anymore. Once a skill is learned, the mind moves into the subconscious and it becomes a part of us. We no longer need to think about it, we just do it. This same process is at work whether we're learning to drive a car, use a computer, or create wealth. As human beings, we think in pictures. Start to visualize what you really would love to have in your life. Is it love? Is it a wonderful relationship? Is it creating wealth for yourself and your family? You want to expand your mind to the point that you become an unconscious competent. You become so adept at thinking about what you really want that you can just imagine. Imagine that all the money is flown into your bank account. You've got all this free time. You've already taken some trips. You've already bought the car that you want. You've already started a new foundation or an organization. Instead of looking forward to quitting your day job, dream about writing what it is that you're going to do. If you dream about writing a book for a living, maybe you maybe you write a few paragraphs or a few pages. You have the ability to create whatever you want in your imagination. Think about a beach that you're strolling along. Think about the house that you want to create. Think about what it's like to live in true abundance. You don't worry about the leaves on the trees. You know they're going to take care of themselves and soon they're going to fall. And then we're going to have bare trees in Canada because it'll be freezing cold. And then you know that spring will come and new buds will appear on the tree and there'll be even more leaves next year. Think about your life that way. Infinite, infinite possibilities. When you're thinking about what you truly desire to bring into your own experience, think about it without limits. Don't worry about the money. Think about what you would love, what you're passionate about. And as you focus your energy on that, you start to get ideas, and ideas create opportunities, and opportunities create wealth, so long as you allow them. Think about what you would love and what it feels like to be there. No judgment, no worry about how, no worry about when. Just what does it look like and what does it feel like? In your imagination, write it out on paper with feeling. Get passionate about creating the life that you love, whether it's wealth or love or health. You don't have to have one or the other. You can have everything. You can be healthy, happy, and wealthy, and then circulate your wealth, circulate your love. Everything is better when it's circulated. Wealth, blood, water, everything in your life must circulate. Feel the freedom that comes from thinking about how well you can help other people. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Write out your goal as if it's already happened. Get passionate about it and wake up and go after it every single day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.